You're watching Yish in your ear. We're taking a look at Verbum in Tropic Hall from Sound Device Digital, distributed by United Plugins. All right, so I'm gonna get straight to it. I didn't delve a lot into the actual controls in here. I kind of just twisted the knobs, moved some things around until it felt good, and moved on to the next track, right? So I will say this thing has an incredible amount of versatility for a reverb, but let me go through what we use this on in the review. Of course, the usual usage for such a plugin is to use it as a send. So that's the one that's this one. It's being fed by quite a few sources. If we go here, you can see that all of the sources that are showing here are feeding that FX bus here in Cubase, right? And then there are some instances, and I believe it's only a couple at this point, that we utilized Verbum. Let's see here. All right, and then we also used Verbum on as an insert for a particular track. So let us play the record again. This time we will bypass the two instances of Verbum. Right now, I'll demonstrate some of the additional options that you get with Verbum under the insert for the guitar track here. So that was the main insert. The other insert here was just for the send, right? All right. So I used, this is the reverb here. Very luscious is probably the best description I can give it. There's a 12-bit function to set the bit rate more like some of the vintage reverb units. It does have inherent noise with that. I did not find a place to adjust the noise, and it probably isn't one since it's affecting the actual signal. All right, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to dabble with it just to give you an idea of what the controls do. Some of them are kind of, standard verbiage, but let's take a listen. Width, of course, we can make it mono. which I probably should have did with this record. Or you can widen it 200%, right? Color. A more darker tone. More brighter, of course. Legendaryism. It's a little more thicker. The balance between early reflections and late reflections is done here. All right. The size of the late reflections. You hear that slap back sound, right? Whoa. Pre-delay for the late reflections, of course. Damping. Nice. And then there's a lush knob. And then we have modulation capabilities. And of course, an on and off switch for bypassing. So those are the controls, man. Let me dig into what we used it and how these various things sound with it and with it off. We use this, like I said, mostly on the synths. So, of course, on our snare, here's with it on. Off. All right. Just a midget. So gave it, you know, a little bit of wispiness to the Rhodes. Very nice. Maybe some additional space around our synth. And then, of course, we have vocals on this song, so we definitely used it for that purpose.
Don't you let go. 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 Don't you let.
That's part of the hook. And then here on our lead.
Girl, I would give you the moon and the stars behind it. Heart's pump is red as maroon for us to be reminded.
The ahs that we have here. Used it pretty heavy here. And actually, this was the other instance of the insert that that we use this on. All right. So here's without it. I wanted that real heavenly sound. Didn't quite get what I was looking for. Kind of ran out of time, but all right. And that pretty much was it, man, as far as how we used it within the record itself. All right, so we'll dabble with this on the drum bus just to kind of listen to the character of the plugin itself, right? And some of the stuff that you can do with it. Of course, it has that nice room sound to it. Now there is a number of presets that comes with this that you can utilize, and of course you can save your own presets as well within the plugin. Oil can sound. Very versatile, man. This is kind of giving you an idea what the rawness of what these different controls are doing. Wow. This is, of course, a part of the late reflection section. So you would only hear that if you're over here, right? Now on to the late reflection modifications. More pre-delay. Yeah, you can really get some syncopated stuff out of this, or some real just chugging along here. It's very rich sounding, in my opinion. Now, I did find one thing when you modify some of these other controls that deal with the tone. See if I can yeah, I think it's the legendarism. It kind of resets the high pass filter when you use that. So keep that in mind. When I turn this up, you can hear some little more bottom on it. I turn it down, the bottom is gone from what it added, but the tone still remained the same. All right. Gets to that nice and clean. That's beautiful right there. Get that back of the room sound, huh? And then last but not least, of course, the modulation section. So that just keeps it so that you have some motion in the tails, right? Right before this is actually very nice. Definitely make me want to use more mono reverb. Very nice. As a matter of fact, I am going to save that as back of the room. And I probably typed that wrong. Cool. Actually, I should have did it over here, huh? Right? I got that preset saved. That is actually a very nice sound right there, man. It's not taking up a lot of the stereo's room, yet it's you really can hear the snare in it. That is very nice. Before, right? Very, very nice. And again, the 12-bit function just gives you some grit, man, right? Now, last thing before I let you go is a caution. This plugin does saturate, right? So let's see if we can push into this bad boy and you can hear what I'm talking about. So I'm going to turn the drum bus down here and I'm going to crank the gain and then we'll just let it rip. Right? So that's not the master. And that's not the channel, that's the actual plugin. That can be useful, right? So let's put it on dry and see what happens. And then I'm going to drive the plugin back up. All right. So as you can see, you can also use this by itself as a saturation unit. Interesting. Let me push it some more. Turn this down. So the saturation function only works under the 12-bit mode. All right. Otherwise, it doesn't saturate. So I didn't get a chance to exploit that like I wanted to. It's worth the revisit if I get into anything deeper. But that's it, man. That's my review of Verbum, the Entropic Hall from Sound Device Digital, brought to you by United Plugins. And stay tuned for Firemaster that's coming next. This is a very good plugin to utilize for reverb. It doesn't have an extreme CPU hit. You can utilize it in an insert fashion to take advantage of the 12-bit mode and some of the extra things to kind of, really build that room sound if you're looking for something specific for a specific instrument. Or you can use it in the classic fashion as a send effect, right? It's a reverb. Reverb is reverb, right? But this is a very characterful and very versatile reverb plugin that they have provided here. All right, with that being said, make sure that you hit that subscribe button. Please do leave a comment. I know it's been a while since I've been on. I've been kind of hanging in minutes on some things, trying to get back into the flow. So stay tuned for more videos. They may come slow as I continue to try to get some things going on with my personal life. And I'll see you on the next video. This has been Yish in your ear. Stay tuned. What?